Your strategy should not be to get more applicants, it should be to get the right ones. That's a quote by Julie Kelly from Lensa. She's next on the RecTech podcast. Hey again, RecTechies. Welcome to the podcast that helps employers and recruiters connect with more candidates through technology-inspired conversations. Mastering recruitment technology is the key to hiring great talent, and that's why this show exists. All right, Julie Kelly is the director of marketing for Lensa.com, a job aggregator, which has recently launched a new recruiting advertising tool called Fast Talent. They will also be a new sponsor here on the RecTech Media Network. Let's find out more. Julie, welcome to the show. It's great to see you again.
Oh, great. Thank you. I'm happy to be here, Chris.
I've known Julie for many years. I think probably like 15 years or something. I think Julie, right?
Yes, we've been in this industry for a long time together.
Yeah, she's a fellow CT resident along with myself. And you used to work at recruiters for a long time. Well, what brought you to Lensa? Give us the quick story there.
So Lensa, what brought me here? Well, it started with me meeting Guillermo Govare, the CEO and founder of Lensa. I met him, had a sit down with him, told him what I believe, and shared with him my thoughts on the space, which anyone who knows me is I'm quite passionate about wanting to evolve this industry, leveraging technology, leveraging data to create a better experience for all people involved with recruitment. That includes both sides, the employer and the job seeker. Having a chance to meet him, I really got to understand the sincerity of his intentions to make those evolutions. So that was somebody I felt that I could partner with to continue my mission and vision to what I want to get done in this industry. So after meeting with him, I really got to say I love working for Guillermo. He is fantastic. But as I started to learn more about the company, I got a sense of just how much data that Lensa has. The fact that they're a two-sided marketplace and they have all of the data, not just on all the jobs coming in on every day. They have over 36 million jobs that they process each day. In addition to that, there's also the massive job seeker audience. So Lensa also has all the data on the acquisition side of job seekers, what users do, their intentions, their search behaviors. So for me, a data dog, I was very attracted to the fact that they had the data on both sides of the market. And I saw huge potential for that. But it's one thing to have the data, it's another thing to be able to do something with it. So,
Mm-hmm.
really, really attracted me to the organization was not just that they had this incredible data competency and access to it, but they have a really incredible development team, a team of engineers who are highly skilled, highly talented, and very agile. So they also had the ability to develop based on the learnings and the insights coming out of the data. So with strong leadership, with great intentions, great data, and an incredible team that's talented enough to respond to all of that insights, I saw the perfect mix for what I'm looking for, an organization that can help evolve with better purpose. So that's what brought me to Lensa.
Awesome. And that's a site that's been around for what? How old is Lensa now?
I'm not exactly sure, but I believe
10
it's six
years
years.
or
Yeah,
six?
6 to 10 years.
Second.
It's really incredible how they've been able to become one of the largest providers and publishers in this industry in such a short period of time.
Yep.
It's a very competitive space. There are thousands of job boards out there, and yet they've been able to position themselves in the top of that in a very short period of time.
Okay. So let's talk about Fast Talent. It's your new initiative powered by Lensa. So what is it? And you got some slides to share as well. So
Yeah, so Fast Talent. When I joined the organization, I was highly impressed by already the teams and analysts that they had in place that um, were able to manage all of the inventory that was coming in for demand as well as the acquisition of job seekers. So I didn't feel that that was a place, although I have skills in those areas, that I needed to jump right in. They already were very skilled and functioning in that area. But what I really was excited about was taking all of this data and technology that they have and putting it to work so that direct employers can feel the benefit of all of that knowledge and and technology. So coming into the organization, my first desire was to work closer on the products that benefit the direct employer, and then ultimately create a better experience for the job seeker so that they can get placed faster. Not only do recruiters want to place people faster, but so do job seekers want to get into jobs faster. So how can we accelerate this entire process? So that's where my focus began in the organization, was working on the product for fast talent so that we could create better hiring faster, more cost effectively for direct employers. I have a tremendous amount of experience working with organizations, and I understand the problems and the challenges that they have. So taking that and applying that directly to this product was very exciting for me to be back in an innovation place, to be able to build towards things that really solve the problems that people have today.
Nice. What's one of your favorite aspects about fast talent? Does one come to mind?
One of my favorites,
Yeah.
I've got to say, for me, it's that we can consolidate technology. I do feel that, technology has really been a huge benefit to TA, talent acquisition and recruitment, right? It's helped us in so many ways, but it's also made things really complicated. And there's more technology that comes out every day, and people are trying to stay on the cutting edge with the advancements of all these technologies, but they keep buying more tech and stacking more tech on top of more tech, and not all that tech works together.
Yes.
So I know that pain, and I wanted to help people be able to consolidate some of those things to get down to the work that they're trying to get done, and that's to make a hire. So fast talent is really trying to live to its name. It's trying to get you the talent you need fast. How do you do that can become very complicated, but if you can find the ways to keep that simple for the user, that's the winning sauce. So that's where we've put our time and our energy and our focus. Now, this all comes from Lensa, right? Lensa is this incredible data powerhouse of market intelligence, because it both has all the jobs coming in from the market. I mean, every job board, every major agency or programmatic solution is likely using Lensa in some way, distributing jobs to them because they're such a large provider of that job seeker traffic. So we have all the demand coming in. So we understand what jobs, what locations, what organizations are willing to pay what for what jobs. So we know the demand. But what's incredible is to also have the job seeker data, the acquisition and the supply side. How many people are searching for those jobs in a market, in a location, for a certain industry? What types of jobs are people searching for? Where is supply rising? So being able to have the information from both sides, understanding also how people engage with jobs. Do they prefer emails, text alerts, push notifications into applications? Where, how, when? We have all the data behind that, which makes this intelligence able to be put to work. So we take that and create this engine in fast talent that leverages all the data from Lensa. Keep it really easy for the user. That, I think, is really important. Recruiters have enough to do all day. They should not have to worry about all the complexities of the advertising technology. So we keep it really easy by either taking an XML feed or scraping their jobs. If you want to do it old-fashioned way, you can post, of course, but most of our customers prefer the automation where we come and collect their jobs for them. And then when it comes into the Fast Talent platform, we're now using all that intelligence that we have to distribute to Lensa, which has a very large audience and ability to distribute through multimedia. So we get exclusive positioning on Lensa, as well as distribution network. So over 100 sites within the distribution network we can distribute to as well. Mm-hmm. And then Google for Jobs as well, making sure that those jobs are everywhere that job seekers look for jobs, and that we understand where to place it and for how much. So by using the smart bidding technology, we're able to acquire traffic at a very cost-effective rate.
Hey, quick question on Google for Jobs. Are you guys tracking that referral click from them? Are you seeing any increase in that, decrease? What's the, you have any numbers there?
We see fluctuations
Yeah.
in Google for Jobs. Now, certainly a lot of that's based on supply. What does the market look like? Where is the job seekers? Where are they searching? What are they searching for? That has a lot to do with that. But we have seen some changes in behavior of Google for Jobs over the past few years, where there's been spikes where you can see that Google's experimenting with different things that lead to really great results. And then we also see some retraction where they try things, or perhaps the market gets flooded with competition, and then those things get addressed and then they spike back up. So there is a lot of activity, but you can't rely on it alone as a consistent method of acquisition because it's organic, right? So it will always be a reflection of what's going on in the market. A lot of that's outside of your control, but it certainly is an area that you want to tap in and get talent as they're searching.
Yeah, it's quality traffic there.
Yes, it is. So all of these ways are to distribute your jobs, get your jobs out there, get your jobs advertised, get some activity associated with the jobs. And then as people apply to these jobs, we create a lot of flexibility for our customers to determine how they want that to occur. They may already have a very sophisticated tech stack of which they want to drive the candidates directly to a career site or directly to an applicant tracking system. We are certainly flexible with any of those workflows that an employer needs. But what we highly recommend is that employers work with us and use our hosted apply. By using our hosted apply, first of all, this can save a lot of money for smaller, mid-sized organizations that have very complicated technology or don't have the budget to afford those things. We can host the application, making it very easy for users to be able to apply on site. That usually yields a much higher conversion rate because people don't have to navigate off into foreign systems that they're unfamiliar with. They stay on a trusted platform that they already know. And then we go a step further by also allowing qualifying questions at the job level. So you can ask different questions for different jobs to identify whether or not those candidates are qualified right within the workflow that we create. So this keeps a really high level of conversion, so you get good volume from that. But also it sends us a data signal in real time on whether or not that candidate was quality. And this is where I think there's a significant problem that people are facing today. They don't need more applications. They need the right ones. And this helps us have signals so that we can optimize based on quality. So your buying behavior, your distribution strategy is not about how many more applications can we get for the lowest cost per application. It's now about how can we make sure we don't buy applications that are not quality, and we make sure that we do invest in the places that do drive quality. Now, this is a big change in moving deeper down the funnel with programmatic advertising.
Yeah.
Programmatic advertising we've been doing over the past 10 years in this space has all been to drive more applications, which has been great until the market has, I'd say AI has now made it possible for job seekers to turn that same technology we've used on ourselves. So now job seekers have the ability to use AI to automatically apply to jobs. So what's happening now is that employers are finding that they're getting more applications because job seekers can automate their applying, and they're getting more applications, but significantly less quality. That leads to more time spent trying to identify which candidates should I actually follow up with. It's taking away the time where the efficiency is now being lost. So by being able to do this, you can have quality optimization.
Yeah, every employer is going to have to start implementing, pre-screen questions for every job because they just can't keep up with this flood of resumes that are heading into the systems these days.
Yeah, the flood of resumes coming into the system, and then the challenge is that you can't stop that, right? Equal opportunity, everybody has the right to apply. So if they have the right to apply and they also have access to technology that can automate applications, your problem today is not getting more applications, it's getting the right ones. So now how do you create a automated buying strategy when those signals are all in different systems and they don't work very well in communicating in real time. So this is where I'm really excited about Fast Talent, is the ability to optimize based on quality conversion. Moving deeper into the funnel to move towards faster acquisition and hire. But you need data behind all this, right? Is this working? What is going on, right? Any responsible TA leader or recruitment marketer is going to have a budget that they're responsible for managing, and you want to spend that effectively. So we create, dashboards that are very informative and helpful, insightful for informing an organization about what's going on with their advertising. Of course, there's always the basic KPIs that you need. How much budget did you allocate and how much has been spent? That can be paced, that can be accelerated. We can adjust strategies based on the company's desires, letting them know how many jobs that are advertising, how many clicks they're getting, how many conversions they're getting. All these things are the basic things that you would want to know on any given day, so you have access to that information. But you can also look at all the trends associated with that. We have lots of graphics that allow you to visualize how you're performing. You can download that information so you can analyze it, share it with others on your team. We also have job level KPIs. So not just how many in total, but you can dig down deep and say, I want to look at every job and how it's doing. And then you can go even deeper into that job level. You can take a look at every job and easily search for your jobs to find the ones you're looking for and how they're performing. And then we provide detailed click logs on every job. So you can look at the job and see, for every click that we have created for that job, what type of device did that come in on? What medium? Right? We can see not just the source of this traffic, but we can also see whether they engaged with a text, with a push notification, with an email, with a banner, with a web search. We're looking at all the different types of engagement that are possible for a user to engage with a job. So we can not just optimize based on source, but also medium and source, which is way deeper than most optimization ability through a standard programmatic technology.
Hey, I saw the stats there. Devices, phone is everywhere. What percentage of Lensa traffic today is coming in from a phone versus desktop?
About 70%.
70%. Wow.
Which is very high compared to some cases. Certainly, there are other mediums that engage higher than others, but I would say our general audience is about 70% on mobile device.
Gotcha.
And then I would say this is probably the thing that brought me to Lensa and made me most excited about working on Fast Talent, is that a lot of products that exist to support employers are all in the space, but behind a wall where they don't actually have the information on the demographics of the user. Well, that's what's exciting here, is that we can share that with our customers. We can show them not just how did your job perform, but how did people engage with your job and what are the demographics behind those people? So we can see what types of titles were people searching for, where they came across your job, how your job was discovered by them. This can give you a sense of the types of people who are looking for your job and where they began their search, where they're located, what industry they currently identify as being part of, what experience level that the user has identified for themselves, including their education. And this one I love. What are the expectations of the people that are viewing your job? To know that, right? You don't even have to ask the question. We already know the answer from the user of what their expectations are. And we know that they viewed your job, and we can share that demographic information with you so that you can have a sense of what type of range are people looking for when they come across this job. How am I competitive to those expectations?
Is that part of the questionnaire they have to fill out?
Well, that's part of becoming a member of Lensa. So Lensa has over 20 million registered users. And from that information, we, of course, protect people's personal identifiable information. but we aggregate their demographic information so that we can share that and create insights for an organization. And we can do that at a job level, not just at the account level.
Do you get to like play in the Lensa sandbox here every day and look at this data? And
Oh, yes, it's like my favorite
so
thing to
what
do every day.
like what's trending for you? What's interesting to you among these data points right now?
What I find really interesting is user behavior. It really is, right? Like this is a great example. This one here, this is a job for a call center.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people who have salary expectations that are over 250,000 a year that are viewing this job, right? So now when you look at this information, you say, okay, well, that's unrealistic, right? But it also goes to show that people, when they're identifying, well, what are their salary expectations, they're very optimistic, right? This is a call center position with someone viewing it that has a 250 plus salary expectation. What that means is that these standard drop downs do not do enough for people, right? Of course, people want to make over 250,000 a year. Who wouldn't want to select that? But now that's the expectation of the user. Would you say that because someone had those expectations that they're not qualified for this job? Well, I don't know if that's true because people are optimistic that they would hope to make that salary, but the reality is an offer, whether it's accepted or not, is what determines whether or not they're a fit for that role. Because you can create an offer for this role, and if they accept it, that's the reality. And that's where this needs to connect. I think that there's a lot of challenges that people are hopeful with what their salary could be.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reality that they will accept, and that's also true for the recruiter. There's a hopeful amount that they wish that you would accept, but then there's a reality in which you will offer. And there is a lot of work, I think, that we need to bring together those expectations on both sides to make salary searching and qualification something that can better align for people.
Very cool.
So this is one of my favorite things is it's very unique to be able to see analytics performance data on how you're performing, how your jobs are performing, and also see the detail behind the demographics.
Yeah.
It's really an exceptional thing. And what this shows is we are a two-sided marketplace. We have the data for both sides, and we can leverage all of that to create really great insights, because this type of information also powers our algorithms to determine if your job as a call center job is not getting the exposure that it needs. Well, then we know what other types of roles people search for that also take interest in this type of job, so that we can position those in those as well. So there's a lot of technology for location expansion and title expansion and all kinds of things that we do to manipulate things to get jobs in front of people. But when you're a two-sided marketplace, you already have all that information. You don't need to test that. You already know. So you can create that positioning and placement and manipulate algorithms in a much more effective way, because you have deeper data on the behavior of people and how they engage with jobs. Now, when you add that to the quality metric, that's the real powerhouse secret sauce, because it's not your standard programmatic technology and what has existed over the last decade has all been to optimize based on conversion to apply. So an algorithm would go and buy more of something that converts, but it doesn't know if those applications are quality or not. So then you just get more applications. But if you have the quality signal coming in, as well as that front end conversion piece, and you understand the engagement behavior of all of the users, you have more optimization points to be able to create different behaviors and different bidding strategies and different source distributions and different channel mediums to get better results. It opens up more potential for more optimization ability.
Yeah. Hey, what's the typical apply rate these days? Is it, I mean, I think the last I heard it was like, 5%, or for every 100 clicks you get on the job, like 5 people will apply. What are you seeing there, Lensa? If you have any of that data.
Well, it's interesting. I would say that this fluctuates quite a bit.
It depends on the job, of course, but
Yes, because what we are seeing is higher apply rates in some segments. And those higher apply rates, I
which
believe,
segments would you say?
coming, yeah, segments, certain types of industries. Some of I'd say the mid-level positions, we see a spike in activity. And that activity, I do believe at this time, looking to prove, is coming from a lot of this automated apply technology. So while people are getting excited, hey, I'm getting more applications, I'm also seeing the results of what's coming back from that, of like more applications are not necessarily quality. So I got more, but I actually ended up with the same amount of quality in the end.
Yeah.
So that number can be misleading. And I generally say, if you have a 10% conversion rate, that's good. If you have better than that, that's great. If you have 5%, that's pretty standard. If it's lower than 5%, it's pretty low. That's usually what I'd say is general, but I do think a lot of this AI applied technology is causing an increase in apply rates and volume. But again, I do think, I'd say I know that most companies don't know their cost per quality applicant. They don't know what that metric is. So they struggle to say, I got more applicants, my CPA is lower, but it hasn't made any difference to me getting a lower cost per hire, because that quality piece in the middle isn't getting better.
Yeah.
Lower cost per applicant doesn't mean lower cost per hire. It's that quality metric that matters. And that's really hard because it's not standardized. Systems don't communicate well together based on that event. And companies just really haven't had the ability to have the discipline around the quality metric. So that's what's exciting to me about Fast Talent, is if it's optimizing based on quality, we can get it faster, cheaper, more efficiently, and that just gets you on the road to making a hire faster. Rather than screening through 100 resumes, screen through 10 and make that placement faster. You also can provide a better experience if you're focused on the quality applications to be able to give a great experience. And then if you can use automation to determine that someone's not qualified, well, then you can create a nurturing program that informs people of that sooner in the process. Because I hate that we leave people out in the world wondering, are they ever going to get back to me? It's been 90 days and I haven't heard from them. Like, I assume
Julie, it's
that
the
that
age
job
old
is
question, Julie. I've been doing this for 25 years and job seekers keep asking me the same thing. When are they getting back to me?
Well, this is what makes me excited, because this is not just considering making it better for the employer. It certainly does that. But through that, the downstream effect is that the candidate is having a better experience.
Yes.
Candidate can stay on one trusted platform, get all the jobs they need to get notified. They get all these different options to be able to communicate with how they want to receive jobs: text, email. Well, who knows the ways that people want to consume jobs in the future. So I love that we have the ability to keep the eye on the ball of all the ways that that's happening. And then the candidate can stay in one place and quickly and easily apply, and then find out very quickly whether or not they're going to proceed further in that hiring process. So it satisfies everybody in a much more accelerated rate.
Julie, your passion for this is pretty obvious, and I want to thank you for your time today, and welcome to the RecTech Media Network as well as a sponsor. FastTalent.com. What do you want employers to do when they go there?
Well, we'd love for you to come and contact us. We are open to meeting new partners, bringing in new customers. We have a lot of exciting stuff that we are rolling out in the next year. So any of our new customers that come on have access to all the betas that we'll be providing. So you can sample by posting one job. We have a single job posting for $100. You can try it out. Or you also have the ability that you can contact us and we can get you set up with an XML, automation, or posting account. We're very flexible on budgets. So we know that, budget's a very constrained thing for organizations. So we're very flexible in working with organizations based on their needs. And we're flexible on the strategy based on what you're trying to accomplish. So we're looking for partners to come experience the new technology, which I believe is going to create a new disruptive way in which we do um, talent acquisition and advertising, moving us further down the funnel to the cost per quality application metric. So I'm excited to work with new organizations that want to be part of that innovation and that future.
Awesome. All right. Well, that will do for this episode of the RecTech Podcast. Julie, thanks very much, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Be sure to follow us on the socials, Facebook, X, LinkedIn via the @RecTech Media handle. See every video, podcast, and blog we publish. Thanks for tuning in and watching, everybody. See you next time. Always be recruiting out there. Take care.